All right, welcome back to the Built to Grow podcast. I'm your host, Tim Lyons, in the studio, joined by Randy Angston.
Good day, sir.
Good day. Good day. It is going to be a good day because we got a great episode for you guys. Ooh. So, real quick though, as you listen to this, you're gonna get some kind of trends. But one thing I want to, and you hear it in our intro, we help gym owners win, right? It's subjective on purpose. Every gym owner's on their own journey. Every gym owner, winning to them means something totally different. So winning might be, hey, I get to 300 clients. Winning could be, I hit a revenue goal. Winning could be, I don't need to work in the gym anymore.
I took a day off. It's amazing what we.
So that's kind of the pretense for all of this, and it's also the ethos of what ProFit is. We talked about this years ago when we help gym owners win on purpose, because guys, there's so many little things in your business we can fix. We can fix your marketing, but is that going to help you win? We can fix your systems. Is that going to help you win? We can help you remove yourself from the business. Is that going to help you win? You have to decide what is winning to you, and that's exactly what this episode's about. So guys, if you need help in your gym, we have a coaching program. We talk about all the time. It's our accelerator program, winninggym.com/grow. That's first and foremost, we get on a call, me and you, and we talk about what your goals are. Yeah. What does it mean to win for you, and how do we help you get there? And then we've got a whole series of calls and like in videos and trainings that you go through. You, Randy, work on mindset, which is always the gap, right?
Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, like all the information's there, but if we don't do anything with it.
Right. And so I've always felt like that's usually the missing component of a lot of like gyms. The owners just don't have the right mindset sometimes, sure. or they're overwhelmed and they don't know how to get out of the weeds, and they just don't know how to do it. So that's a big part of what we do on purpose, because we know that's going to help you win. So
and it's about your happiness. Like that's the big thing. I mean, I think if you don't know what's inside the coaching program, or how to get that win for yourself, like Tim said, some clients want to increase revenue in their gym. That will start there. Some gym owners want to actually remove themselves from the day-to-day operations. We'll lay out that game plan. So our coaching program is focused, and it's rooted in the systems that we know every gym needs to have. We can cater that system to your desire to win and your specific goals based upon what you want out of it, and that's the beauty of it. I mean, it's extremely versatile. I mean, from revenue, because all of those things have to happen regardless, right? If you want to step out of the gym, you have to have revenue, you have to have systems in place, you have to have these things, and that's a beautiful thing. It's like, this is the stuff a gym falls back on no matter what. So let's use these tools to get what you want out of your business. And that's really a big thing.
Right. And so this episode, guys, we're going to talk about the other guy's journey. And the reason we're bringing this up, because this happens to everybody. You see another gym owner or another business owner or another online influencer doing big things, going, on vacation, driving Lambos, and doing all the stuff that you see online, and you start comparing yourself to that other person. Well, first thing you have to understand is that's the highlight reel.
The highlight reel, yeah.
And you can't really always just expect everybody to be just crushing it, right? So there's everybody's got their ups and downs. But that aside, you see somebody else doing something, and it's like, man, how come I can't do that? Or, man, that looks awesome for that guy, but I don't really want to do what he's doing, so I don't really care. Or I can't compare myself to this guy or girl because they're not even really, I wouldn't even want to be in their shoes. And that's kind of interesting, because we work with gym owners all the time, and most of the gym owners we work with really want to crush their gyms. Yeah. But there's another subset of gym owners that really don't want to crush their gym, because that also means maybe they have to do more work, and they're not really, they're kind of burnt out, and maybe like, hey, I'm pretty happy where I'm at. If I can just make a couple bucks more, or take a little bit more home, more profit margin, or if I can remove myself a little bit more, that's really what I want to do. Because the other guy that's doing 80, 90, 100,000, maybe they're also working 40, 50, 60 hours a week in their gym, and that doesn't appeal.
And I think the biggest thing, like, for the young guns and the new gyms and those out there, really hitting it for the first time, getting to those revenue numbers, and that drive, that is the excitement that they enjoy. That's where they thrive. That's where they are happy. You know what I mean? And so a lot of the conversations I'm having are with some of the 10-year gym owners. You know what I mean? Like they've been in the game for a while. They realize like, okay, this is what this business can provide me with, but I no longer care to add $20,000 a month to revenue because I have a substantial business. Now I just want to kind of, take a vacation. Now my priorities are time with my 3 young kids. My number one priority is making my wife happy. You know what I mean? It's the other things outside of just revenue, just more clients, just the grind within the 4 walls. And it goes hand in hand. So you have to have, like we said earlier, like you have to have the business that supplies and can provide for all of those things. So if you don't figure out what that's going to take, that's why we have a coaching program. But the difference between comparing, that new guy's drive and desire and where he's spending his time and attention doesn't necessarily equate to the same things you as a 20-year gym owner or 10-year gym owner, or maybe just simply different places in your personal life. Maybe you have that young family who you want to be around and see, take to baseball games and do that type of thing, and they don't. You know what I mean? So the comparison is not always a one-to-one. It's not an apples to apples. And that, I think, is the biggest takeaway is you have to look at what you have, where you are, what you desire out of this, and then really just run that game.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the biggest thing, pull from the success of others where you want and need to, but don't compare yourself to somebody who's running an entirely different play basically in a different game. The only commonality is the fact that it's a fitness industry.
They're in a different chapter in their book, and they're even in a different book altogether sometimes. There's some people on the same path as you, and you can aspire to kind of do what they're doing. But I think the takeaway is, what do you want? And I think a couple episodes we really talked about, what do you want for your business, from your business? The business should serve you. You as the owner. Should serve you as the owner. Can we just talk about that for a second? Why is it a bad thing in today's society to want that out of your business? Isn't it right? But society kind of deems it like it's a bad thing for us to want to be successful, want to make money, want to be able to provide for our family and our employees. It goes to the crabs in the bucket story. And I agree, because it's going to be interesting. Tomorrow night I have a State of the Union here, and there's a ton of clients I have no idea who they are, and it's good. Like, to me, that's winning to me. Hey, I don't need to know everybody. I don't even need to be here, but I'm gonna have to reintroduce my story to everybody tomorrow, which I didn't think I'd have to do ever again, because I knew everybody at the time. So it's going to be interesting tomorrow, and I've got to get them to. And I feel a little pressure to get them to like me as the owner and the mission that we did 13 years ago when we created this. So I got to go back in time and explain the journey till today. And I think when I do tell them the story and how the struggles were and all the grinds and the 401ks and all the stuff that we had to do to get it to this, I think that's going to go a long way.
Yeah.
So anyways, going back to that, what do you want whole thing? There's a question that we ask our Iron Circle members, and we did it in South Carolina, right? And we said, hey, if you were to go 10 years into the future and look backwards at your life, and what is it that you wanted to have done that would say, hey, I did those things, I accomplished my goal. And sometimes you have to set goals, right? You always have to set goals, but sometimes going into the future and looking backwards, putting yourself in, if you're 33, you're 43 years old today, you're looking back and put yourself in that state of mind. What are the milestones that I created? And I think 10 years is a pretty good kind of that goes quick, right? Yeah. I feel like yesterday we were opening the gym. It's 13 years ago. So and it could change, but I think for this episode, I think this is going to really resonate with a lot of people. If you can go into the future 10 years, let's just say you're 29. So now you're 39 going in to be a 40-year-old person. What is it to you today as a 29-year-old that you can go into the future and say, hey, I have, I have 2 gyms, I have 3 gyms, I'm making this much money, I have this many employees, I have real estate, I have this, or maybe I'm out of the gym business altogether and I'm doing something else that I love and whatever, right? Yeah. What is it for you guys? I know too many gym owners go into the day-to-day operations and you're just putting out fires and you don't have a plan and you don't even really know, you're just there, and you can't do that long. You have to have kind of a mission in place, right? You have to have a path. So hopefully that helps you guys kind of set the stage.
And the big thing is the comparison from, like if you're looking at others and their path, the only comparison you should be making is to where you were yesterday, right? Like we hear this stuff all the time, right? Like everybody else's journey, their game, like you truly can't make an apples to apples comparison. But I'll tell you what, the one person you can go beat is the person you were yesterday. And so whether that means, investing in yourself so that you become the person that can become, step into the roles and responsibilities of the person who has the lifestyle that you're looking to have out of your business. Because that's a big thing. I think a lot of it is not only does the business need to develop, but so does the individual running the ship, right? Do you have what it takes to be that leader? Do you have what it takes to, even the knowledge of what it takes to be able to run those things, run that type of business, have the discipline of not showing up for work every day and still making sure that the ship, is okay.
On the right path.
You know what I mean?
Because
think about it, like in that position, you have to be a leader that can instill in others the work ethic, the roles and responsibilities, like the functions of the job that you're doing today have to be done by somebody else. If you can't effectively bring them to that level, then you know that your business is always not going to be performing at what it can if you were in it. But that's training, that's development, that's ascending yourself out of that role by putting other people in those things.
Yep.
And so that's a big takeaway from a lot of the gym owners we work with is they do want to work themselves out of the need to be in the day-to-day, not the desire to be out of the gym entirely all the time, but at least the choice of waking up every morning and going, okay, if I go into my, do I want to go into my gym today? And if I do, what do I want to do? Mm-hmm. Do I want to kiss hands and shake babies? Was it shake hands and shake hands and kiss babies?
Shake some babies.
Yeah, shake babies today.
Baby shaking.
Baby shakers.
That's good. And to your point, right? Like, the choice is freedom.
I had this conversation with our Earning Circle member, and that's exactly what we came down to: is the choice equals freedom. Yep. And that's the biggest thing. When you feel like you have to show up for work, because if you don't show up, all of these things don't happen. That's not freedom. That's exactly what we talked about in a couple of episodes ago, where you own your job. That is the feeling of that. That is the truth of it. It's not a bad thing. But if you don't like that feeling and you want the freedom, then change these things. And then all of a sudden you have a different result. Like that's what you need to invest in. That's what you need to focus on. That's the actions that you need to take. Mm-hmm. Don't worry about what the other guy's doing over here.
Yeah.
If he, you don't know if this is his desire.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He might be, you're seeing $80, $90, $100,000 a month. Well, that's great. But maybe he hasn't seen his family in 3 months or 6 months. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like he's not taking days off.
Maybe he doesn't even have a family.
And that's a great thing. I mean, we compare our situations all the time, right? Like I don't have a wife. I don't have a family. Like it's easy for me to like stay focused and just do other things without having to, weigh all the other variables and have a conversation with a bunch of other people.
Nobody's
right?
relying on you. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And so, to be able to make those choices without the responsibilities that come along with all that stuff is a true fact. And so like, that's the comparison. That's what you need to understand about the comparison you're making is you're doing it off a snapshot and just assuming that this person's playing the same game you are. And because they have all of that, I want all of that, but you don't see what they've sacrificed in order to have that. And a lot of times that's not what you want at the end of the day.
Yeah. Tim Grover has a great book. He has plenty of books. I listen to his audiobooks all the time. And he makes the analogy of like, Jordan, Dwayne Wade, and, Kobe, and he was their trainer, right? Yeah. And he's like, a lot of people look at what they have accomplished and they want what that those gentlemen have accomplished. But if they knew
what it took,
they would not want anything to do with
Hell no. 90% of people would not want their life.
Well, it just goes into the human nature. I want all the rewards and none of the work. It seems like that's the generations coming up. I don't want to work at all, but I want all the money and, I deserve it.
The entitlement of it. Yeah.
Entitlement. So, good thing about gym owners, y'all do the work, right? Yep. There's no lack of work ethic when it comes to the gym owner population. You guys are hardworking men and women. That you care about your clients, you care about your business. Everything that you've done is you put your life on the line to put the 4 walls up and build this operation. It's time to start paying yourself back. It's time to start letting that business serve you. It's time to start, deciding what you want 10 years down the road and looking back and saying, hey, yeah, that's exactly what I wanted to do. Because if you don't, you're going to come in tomorrow and you're going to do the same things you did last month, last week, last year, and you're going to be in the same place 10 years from now, and you're going to have wasted all that damn time and kick yourself in the ass.
Yeah,
so
resentment, all this stuff kicks in. I mean, think about it. Like if you're not, what's it saying? You can't pour from an empty cup. Right. And gym owners notoriously put everything else first, and they get the scraps of their time, their energy, their, whatever. I mean, half of the gym owners we've talked to, like their own training and all this stuff goes to the bottom of the list. Mm-hmm. Well, I can tell you that the best version of you to serve others is the best version of you, period. And so when you force your morning routine, when you force the best version of yourself, when you make your priorities, the best version of you, the priority, that's what your clients are going to receive. That's what your family is going to receive. And that's how you're finally going to get ahead of the curve. It's no different than the profit first mentality, right? You're going to fill your time, fill your expenses to fit what you bring in without prioritizing profit. You're going to do the same thing with your happiness, your excitement, what you as an owner deserve. Mm-hmm. Start making that stuff a priority, guys. Because I guarantee, when you get more sleep and you get a good night's sleep and you wake up with piss and vinegar in your blood and you're energized and you hit
I hate vinegar.
I do too.
I hate vinegar.
When you hit the gym floor and your clients, they feed off of that as opposed to you being dead, having to fake it, pour from an empty cup type of mentality, you're never going to get where you want to be. And I'm not saying you got to, neglect all of that to make yourself the priority, but don't neglect yourself throughout the journey. Like that is the motivating factors of getting you out of bed when you don't feel like it, like knowing your why, like get clear. And it has to be the reason that you do all of this, because ultimately, the business is going to be the business. And if you don't have more than just the dollars and cents in working towards your own paycheck on Friday, it's not going to be enough when things get hard.
Well, the good news is, guys, is that you can have both. Right?
Absolutely, without a doubt.
You can have both. You can take care of yourself, prioritize the business to serve you, and have a great business that serves the clients. You can have both. Like, it doesn't have to be one or the other.
Yeah, so I think that's the permission many are looking for.
You're allowed to take care of yourself first, guys. And it's okay to be selfish. That selfish is a bad word in today's society. Oh, that guy's selfish. But selfish to me is very positive.
Most of the time I hear somebody saying someone's selfish, I hear, damn, I'm jealous of that person. It's not selfish. It's the person that's saying that they're like somebody else is selfish. It's like, man, I wish I could have what they had. I wish I had the balls to say no.
Take care of yourself first. And it doesn't mean you don't care about anybody else. But listen, guys, I mean, the lion, the king eats first, all the mentality. Yeah. You got to serve yourself first. Anyways, the point of this episode, guys, is you can't compare yourself to somebody else's journey that is on a totally different path as you. You don't even want to be where they're at, or you don't want to put the work in that they are. And it's okay, guys, it's okay to make a little less, but be happier because of it. So think that through for a second. You don't always have to hustle and grind to get to the next dollar. Maybe it's hustle and grind to get to a lifestyle that maybe, hey, this business now serves me. I can do what I want with it, and you're going to be much happier. So hopefully, hey guys, hopefully that helps. I mean, and a lot of what we talk about is the grind and pushing the needle, pressing the gas, and that's what most people want, but it doesn't always have to be that way. So hopefully this helps you guys maybe, I don't know, think about a little bit further down the road and looking backwards and saying, hey, this served me, right? This did what it needed to do. So that's it for this episode, guys. Until next time, keep changing lives. We'll see you on the next show. Bye. All right, and thank you for listening to that episode of the Built to Grow podcast, where we help gym owners win. Now, do you want to connect with me and other gym owners online? All you need to do is join our private Facebook group, Business Talk with Fitness Professionals. Just head on over to Facebook and type in Business Talk with Fitness Professionals, and when you do, we're going to give you our 10 marketing strategies 7-figure gym owners use to win. I look forward to seeing you in the next episode. Until then, keep building something great.